This is a message to my peers, my supporters, and close friends. I'm gonna repeat this. This is a message to my close friends, my peers, and supporters. Now, my peers, I am 21 years old. I am turning 22 in literally a few days. And that's kind of crazy because time is moving. I'm not gonna lie. Time every single year as it progresses, it just moves more quicker than I could even comprehend. Not so long ago, we were literally at the 1st of January. Like, guys, to me, it literally feels like the 1st of January was like last week. We are now in the third month of the year. We are in the third month of this year. And the message that I'm trying to give to you guys here is take your time. This is not only a message to you, this is also a message to me. This is a reminder to me to tell myself that you have been applying too much pressure on yourself. As time progresses, the more it gets to a point that if you're not a millionaire by the time you turn age 25, then you really didn't make it in life. Like, you're a failure. I have overshadowed the love I have for what I do, for the results that I'm seeking to achieve. And that is where now the mindset of sheep, the mindset of a typical person who glorifies, who idolizes money and say that if you don't have this much, then fuck it, dude, how can I respect you, or how can I view you a certain way, or how can I take your advice if your life looks like this? We continuously seek for validation from other people, yet what happened to self-love? Honestly, what happened to self-love? Why are we seeking someone's approval? Why is our mind so fixated to getting this money, but then Gary, if you have this specific amount, you're comfortable, but you want to have way more. You want to have way more. Why is that? Why is that? It's because now today's social media, it has implanted a disease that forget about what you love and go for what will guarantee you for you to have money and have a better life. Of course, like, guys, we are aiming to have a better life, but again, I'm bringing this back to taking your time. I'm giving this message to also myself, because I constantly wake up every single day and I tell myself that, I may have given my best. Like I said, there will be days where I will perform my 100%, and I will be happy that exact moment that I gave my all. And I will wake up the next day and say, God, nah, that wasn't enough. I will wake up the next day and tell myself, God, nah, that was a shit performance. I did not give my best. Knowing, God, the very first moment I was done editing and I immediately posted it and I was so hyped, God, it would take me out. I wake up the next day and say, God, you know what? Nah, I really didn't make it. This was shit. This is not good. And that is really a disease. That's really a disease, because you're not improving. You are not improving. If you give your 100% and wake up the next day and still say, God, you didn't do your very best, I can tell you this: carry on with that same mindset. Carry on with that same mindset and see how far it will get you. Most people that have that kind of mindset, I know those kind of people, they crashed out. They crashed out. Now, I'm not talking about the violent crashed out. I mean, like, mentally. They all of a sudden just stopped. Their life went on pause. There was no progression at all. And when I would constantly ask them, yo, Wagwan, what happened? They would say, God, man, I'm not really much in a good headspace to be looking back on that. So I'm just going to continue on with life. Maybe just look or venture into something else and see how that turns out. Love is way beyond relationships and how you feel for somebody else. We praise a God that has unconditional love for us, who will love us regardless of the most disgusting things that we choose to do in our lives. We have to shift our minds. Actually, let me not even say we at this point. Let me say me. I have to shift my mind from looking to the temporary satisfaction and start to live in the moment and start to seek improvement the best way. If I ain't get this specific number, if I don't have this specific amount of subscribers, or if this girl is not feeling this certain way about me right now, then fuck it. It's not working out. Love is not only a feeling of happiness. Love is literally anger, sadness, happiness, all put in one category, one branch, and which is love. Because you can piss me off and I can still love you. You can make me sad and I can still love you. You can make me so happy, and sure, I can 100% still love you, né? Let's also look into doing certain things that we enjoy doing for the sake of love rather than for the sake of money. This energy drink, né? This is not a sponsored video, of course. This is not a sponsored video. This energy drink is the reason why I'm still able to put on my phone, place the camera, and just record. Because the fact that I wake up every single day and I constantly tell myself that I didn't do good enough and I didn't really push myself, it ended up burning me out to a point that if I wake up in the morning and I don't get this, and if I don't drink this and just rely solely to how I feel and how tired I am, if I didn't drink this as much, it would take a very long time to be waking up every single day and still pull out the camera and be on the same motion as I am in. Because I know there's people out there that saying, oh, I'm pushing them. 100% I'm pushing. But I'm burnt out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm completely burnt out. I'm saying I'm absolutely burnt out. When you are at your weakest, when your spirit is at your weakest, where you feel like you don't even have anything left in you to get you up, to get you carrying on. When you feel like you can't give your 100%, that is where now God intervenes. God is always there, né? But ain't no moment where you will feel your most weakest at the same time your most strongest, than the time where you have been beaten down to such a point that you can only solely rely on God to carry you on. But there is a verse that mentions, when my spirit is at my weakest, when I'm at my weakest, that's where God intervenes. That's where God is at his most strongest. When I'm at my weakest, that is where I'm at my most strongest. Because all of the prayers and fasting and time that I have spent with God, that is where his work is shown the most. Sometimes, guys, we apply we apply hard work, né? Hard work is the only, discipline, hard work is key, né? But those two on their own, they kind of overshadow the fact that God is also there. God is intervening in what you are doing. And the time, discipline, and your own hard work gets to you. And when I mean it gets to you, I mean you get burnt out to a point that even discipline on its own can't save your ass. Né? Discipline can't save you, and consistency can't save you. And now all strength has faded. Now you start to see. Now, even without even realizing it, it is where now you become your most strongest. You have been beaten to a pulp physically, that now your spirit is now pushing at its max. If your mind is not fixated on God's power, if your mind is not fixated on God himself, you are going to burn out. And it's going to take you a long time for you to wake up and realize that it's God who was actually pushing you. It was God still working on you, still growing you, building you. That it all makes sense. Take your time. Take as much time as you can get. You're not alone. I'm not alone. No matter how much you tell yourself, girl, you feel alone or something, you're never alone. I'm not alone. And I know I'll win. That's a promise.